Okay, so we are going to use the elimination method. Okay, so this one we're going to use elimination. Why so? Let me make sure, because it's not going to say it like on the exam what method to use. So how do we know we want to use elimination? Well, um, see how these guys are like terms. Well, they're both x squared. Both x squared. Like terms, and these are both y to the first. Like terms. Do you see how the letter patterns are the same? That wasn't the case before, but these are all like terms, right? So what that means is when they're all when you have like terms, use elimination. So when you have like terms, use the elimination method. It's also called the addition method. So I'm going to use that. So let me write it down here. So x squared minus 2y equals 19. And x squared plus 5y is 40. Okay, so I'm going to use the elimination method. Remember how elimination method works? Step number one, you multiply the top equation to make them opposites, right? So I'm going to take the top equation here. I'm going to multiply through by -1. Boom, boom, boom. We don't need to do anything to the second equation. This alone will take care of it. See what we'll get? We'll get minus x squared plus 2y minus 19. And the bottom equation, no changes made to it. So now do you see what will happen if we add them up? See how these guys will just automatically cancel, right? So now we add to cancel the x squareds. So what do we get then? This is 7y, and this is 21. So step one, we multiplied the top equation to make them opposites, right? We want to make them opposites when we're doing the elimination method. One positive, one negative, so they cancel each other out. And now we can solve for y. So that's easy, just divide by 7. So y equals 3. Okay, that's good. So y equals 3. And now step 3, plug in y to the first equation to find the x values. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that y equals 3. I'm going to grab the first equation. I'll bring it over here. X squared minus 2y is 19. And I'm going to plug in y equals 3 right there. Okay, so what's going to happen? So we're going to get x squared. So we're going to get x squared minus 2 times 3 equals 19. X squared minus 6 is 19. Add 6 to both those. X squared is 25. And then root it, plus or minus. Remember, whenever you put a roof on the house, up and down the ladder, roof on the house, up, down the ladder. It's my goofy saying to help you remember that when you put a square root on both sides of an equal sign of an equation, you've got to do plus or minus. You got to go up and down the ladder. So what do we get? X is plus or minus 5. Square root of 25 is 5. Both of those came from y equals 3, didn't they? You see that? Both. So in other words, the two answers we're getting there are plus 5 and minus 5, both going with y is 3. You see how the x values, the two different x values, both go with the same y value. That's what happened. That's just literally what happened, right? We got this y answer first. We plugged it in, and that one y answer plugged in of 3 led to two x values, didn't it? So that one y value goes with two different x values. All right, so those are our two answers. Now, how does it want us to type it in? Well, this one says x less than 0. This one x is greater than 0. Which one is x less than 0? Well, this is the less than 0x. So negative 5, 3. So they want me to put that one there. So negative 5, 3. And this one, positive 5, 3, right? Yeah. Right, see how they say x less than 0. So that's the negative x. X greater than 0, that's the positive x. Yeah, so there we go. So recapping. So what happened there? So step one, we noticed that these were like terms. These are just like terms. X squared over x squared, y over y. So if they're just like terms, then you can add them and subtract them together. Like terms can add and subtract. So in that case, we're just going to use the addition method, also called the elimination method. It's two names for the same thing. So what do you do first? You multiply the top equation to make opposites. So I multiplied by negative 1 so that negative x squared and positive x squared would be opposites. Then I added them to cancel the x squared. And I got 7y is 21 divided by 7, y is 3. So once I had y, plug in that y to the first equation to find the x values. So I took the first equation. You could have grabbed the second. It doesn't matter which equation, first or second. Either one would work the same. I just grabbed the first one, brought it down, plugged in y is 3, and then I got x alone and rooted it. Whenever you do the roof on the house, up and down the ladder, plus or minus when you put a square root. So I got two answers for x. A lot of people forget that. When you put a root on, you got to do plus or minus. So those two different x answers both went with y is 3. So there's our two complete answers to question number 4. There we go.